Okay, guys, welcome. We have 5 games to talk about here on Tuesday. Pretty nice, smaller slate, 5 game slate. I think it's a good slate for GPPs. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good night last night. For me, it went really, really well. Ended up finishing third in the $100 single entry. Had 3 of the top 4 in the $100 single entry tournament were Patreon members. So love to see it. Low owned Nurkic smashed for me. So that was really really good to see. But yeah, looks like, or at least from Twitter, looks like a lot of you guys had good days as well. So hoping to keep that going. But yeah, for these YouTube live streams again, it'll be Q&A style. So leave some questions in the chat. I'll be sure to answer all of them, and I'll be live for 30 minutes. So if you guys do enjoy these Q&A live streams, just make sure to hit that like button. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Videos, free live streams, almost every single day. Okay, so let's go over what we got so far news-wise. It's not a huge day for news just because less games, but Garland available to play. They said they're going to monitor his minutes, so no technical minutes limit for him, but his price is also not very cheap. Let's see, what else was there? So the big news they're still waiting on: Randall's still questionable, Robinson's still questionable. Again, we got the Garland news. LeBron and Avery Bradley both probable. We also got news that Keita Bates-Diop is in for the Spurs. So that's going to be a downgrade to the Spurs value. We'll see what they do with the starting lineup. Starting lineup's going to be pretty key for me for what they end up doing, or for where I end up going. So yeah, I'm going to need to see that Spurs starting lineup before I make some decisions on some of the value. But all right, guys, so let's get some questions. Again, make sure to just leave them in the chat, and yeah, let's do it. So let's see, Justin Holiday and Josh Hart, or Vassell and Mobley. So Holiday and Hart, Vassell and Mobley by a pretty wide margin there. Yeah, Keita Bates-Diop had me extremely worried about getting popped on Vassell or Forbes. Was confident Paul point guard over starts. White's still the same. Yeah, I mean, I need to see the starting lineup, but I mean, the Spurs rotation still should be relatively condensed. Like, you're going to see pretty big minutes for White, Pirtle, Johnson, and then this group of like Bates-Diop, Trey Jones, Forbes, and Vassell. I still expect some pretty solid minutes. I just think it makes everyone else a little bit riskier. Like guys like Forbes, Vassell, Trey Jones, aren't as good at values with Keita Bates-Diop in, because I think Keita Bates-Diop plays probably mid-20s minutes, maybe a little bit more. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where I think I'm going to feel the best about whoever ends up starting for the Spurs. So starting lineup's going to be pretty key there. Let's see. Sykes, Tyus Jones, Trey Jones, Washington, or Vassell. Yeah, I mean, a little bit hard to say right now without the Spurs starting lineup. At the moment, I'll say Vassell because I'm pretty sure he starts. Metu out, more Len Jones. No, Metu plays like the 4, so probably some extra minutes for guys like Bagley. I think they'll dust off Mo Harkless. I think he will now be in the rotation. If that is, let's see, do we just get that news that Metu's out? So let's see. Yeah, Metu in the health and safety protocols. Let's see, was that it? Yeah. So, yeah, going to Sacramento really quick. Again, not a boost to the centers at all, because Metu's not going to play the center position, but maybe a couple extra minutes for Bagley, maybe a couple extra minutes for Harrison Barnes, and then my guess is they dust off Mo Harkless and play him like 20-ish minutes or so. So, no real big change there for me. I don't want to target Mo Harkless. Bagley's price doesn't stand out to me, so not really big news there. Metu wasn't playing big minutes anyway. He's playing like mid-teens minutes, so not big news there. Trae Young, he did go crazy. Went for 85 fantasy points. Thinking about Jalen Smith and Biyombo together, thoughts? There's definitely negative correlation because they're not going to play together at all. I mean, it's like I think we probably most likely get somewhere around like 28 minutes from Jalen Smith and 20 for Biyombo. Based on what the rotation was last game, you saw 18 minutes from Biyombo and the game blew out. So you might have played a few extra minutes. So, I mean, Smith can get it done in 28 minutes and Biyombo in like 18 to 22 minutes can as well. I think you're capping your upside a little bit. So for tournaments, I don't know if I go that route. For cash games, I guess just like safety wise, I guess you could do it, but I'm not a huge fan of playing them both together just because they're not going to play together on at all. Harden, Jokic ruined you. Yeah, I mean Jokic wasn't that bad for the slate, right? Because Harden was the absolute shock. Jokic did good. Plus, you had the blowout. Jokic was on pace for about 60, which would have been more than fine. So he was actually not bad, right? People always overreact when they see a snowflake. It's like, okay, sure, you snowflaked, but like what else happened, right? You had chalk 70% Harden go for 38, so that killed 70% of the field right there. Van Fleet and Siakam, they're fine GBP plays. Hard to prioritize either of them. Positive is it's big minutes and it's a good matchup, so totally fine going to either of them to get different. I think there's other guys in that range that look better point per dollar, but again, you should get much lower ownership on those Raptors guys. Johnson or Graham, not much interest in Graham with Ingram back, with Hart healthy with JV there, so Cam Johnson for me. If I was to stack a game, good question. I'll say either the Spurs Raptors or Kings Lakers game. I think those two look good to stack. I think Culver's playable. Now Killian Tilly did get a little bit of foul trouble last game, so I don't know if we get 30 minutes again from Culver. So and he's not super productive when he's on the court, so there is some risk there. But he would be in play if Contra and Williams are out. I just don't know if we get 30 minutes again. Kiefer, White, LBJ, Smith, Pirtle, Monk, Vassell, Miles Turner. So you're going a little bit more balanced. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like Jakob Pirtle. I don't think he gets much ownership. I think he has a decent amount of upside. Monk and Miles Turner are more secondary options for me. Thoughts on Burks and Barrett? I need to see the Randall news. If Randall's in, the next guys don't look that good. If Randall's out, then, Obi Toppin's probably going to play big minutes. And then it's pretty big usage bump to guys like Barrett and Burks. So my thoughts really depend on Randall. Sykes, Holiday, Vassell, Sabonis, Jones, LBJ, Herbert Jones, Mobley. Herbert Jones, again, with the Pelicans basically being fully healthy now, he's more of a secondary play. He's been playing pretty well. He also had 4 steals and a block. He had 3 steals and 3 blocks last game. No, he's a guy that can do that, but I don't think we can, count on him to continue to average 6 blocks and steals a game. So, he was a guy that I was all over when we had half the roster out. But now it's basically a fully healthy team. So he is going to be the 4th or 5th option in the pecking order. So not a huge fan of going to Herbert Jones in this slate. Do you like White under 17 points? I mean, I think Derek White is a good game, so I think I'll probably go over. Halliburton or Mobley? Halliburton for me. Mobley, again, Kevin Love playing a lot more has hurt him a little bit. Kevin Love's going to be high usage play when he's on the court. I think we probably get 25 to 30 minutes from Love. You're obviously going to have the big minutes for Jarrett Allen, and now you have Darius Garland back too, so Mobley more a secondary play. I think I like both Kings guards, right? I think the Kings guards going up against the Lakers. Lakers play no defense. Both Fox and Halliburton, I'm expecting mid-30s minutes. And I don't think either King guard gets much ownership. I don't. So I think I kind of like the Sacramento Kings, those 2 guards for tournaments. Depends what you're playing with the mid-range guards there. You have CP3, White, Fox, Halliburton. It depends, cash versus tournaments. I think the first 2 probably get the most ownership, and CP3 and White. I think Culver's playable if Zaire Williams is out. But if Zaire Williams is in, I'm not going to go there. Culver also got a little bit extra run, Tilly foul trouble. So, he's playable. But there's also a lot of other value on the slate for a little bit more, the low 4 to high 3K range. There's a lot of good value that I feel much better about than rolling the dice in Culver. So I feel like Culver, again, playable, kind of feels like a chase though, in my opinion. Mobley or Mobley or Garland. So I'm not really considering Garland at his price. So I guess Mobley. Fox or Halliburton, that's a good question. I think the floor is a little bit higher in Halliburton from what we've seen recent games. He's been handling the ball a little bit more. Double-digit assists now, I think, 4 or 5 straight games. Where Fox has shown a little bit of a lower floor. Both have a similar ceiling, so again, I think Halliburton's maybe the slightly safer play. Both have a similar ceiling, in my opinion. Culver, 28 to 30 minutes. I don't know if he gets that much. If Zaire Williams is out, I think he probably gets 20-ish Saturday games. Yeah, I'll most likely have it for the 2-game slate. I feel much better about Sykes and Culver. Yeah, it's not even close. Sykes, Washington, or Trey Jones depends on the San Antonio starting lineup. If San Antonio starts Trey Jones, I think I feel the best about him. If he does not start, then it's basic coin flip with the 2 Pacers guards. We don't know a ton about Washington and Sykes. Like, I think Sykes does more of the ball handling. Washington will get more shot attempts up. So probably the more upside play there would be Washington if you're picking between the 2 of the Pacers guards. Maybe the safer option is Sykes since he did more of the ball handling. CP3 or Fox? Yeah, so I think CP3 is a little bit safer. But I also think he comes in way more ownership than De'Aaron Fox. Love and Halliburton a lock? No, they're not locks. They're solid. They're both good GBP plays, I think. I don't think either get much ownership. Sabonis or Ja? Good question. It's Sabonis for me. He'll do a lot more of the ball handling. Actually, I think it's triple-double upside without LeVert and without Malcolm Brogdon. So I'm pretty high on Sabonis. Prefer him to Ja. Jones, White, Vassell, Sabonis, Adams, Washington, Smith, Moran. Okay, for tournaments, too many Spurs. They all start. No, I think you can go pretty Spurs heavy. Again, they'll run most likely a tight rotation. Now the only concern is it's a back-to-back, and if you guys are new to DFS, again I say this a lot, but you're gonna get popped multiple times this year if you target Spurs guys. So could Popovich troll us and pop us and run like a 10-man rotation and really spread out the minutes? That's possible. I would not be shocked if that happens tonight. So you always you never have a good feeling targeting really any Spurs just because you know where the coach is. Both Kings guards ownership 10-4. Yeah, so pretty low, right? I think they're both good tournament plays. I think Chris Paul, again, I've got some questions about him. I think he gets a lot more ownership. Yeah, Halliburton or CP3 for tournaments. I mean, again, I think the straight up not looking at ownership, I think Chris Paul looks a little bit better. But factoring in ownership, it's kind of up to you and how your lineup looks. Are you building a really chalky lineup? If you have all chalk in your GPP lineup, then go Halliburton. Are you already taking shots in a couple lower owned guys? If that's the case, then maybe go CP3. Right? If you're playing like single entry stuff, that's usually my strategy is I don't want to go all chalk. I also don't want to go all contrarian. I'm usually playing a decent amount of the chalk and taking shots on a couple lower owned guys. Like, for example, one of my lower owned guys last night was Nurkic, but I also played a lot of the chalk. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with LeBron as a spend up, right? I mean, he's going to get a ton of ownership. It's a great matchup. The only downside I'll say with LeBron, too, is ownership. I think he'll be pretty popular. Yeah, I'm curious to see who Cleveland starts at the 2 without Okoro. Now, I saw some news that they said they want to give Lamar Stevens a lot of opportunities to guard Ja. I mean, he played 31. He's known for his defense. He's not really known for his offense, but I think he's kind of sneaky. Kind of sneaky, Lamar Stevens, if the coaches are telling the truth of the fact that he's going to guard Ja Morant a lot. Thoughts on Biyombo? I think he's a solid GBP value option, right? I think a lot of people are going to go to Jalen Smith today, and for good reason. Jalen Smith looks good. But Biyombo is the flat man price. He's playing the backup 5. And if Jalen Smith gets in foul trouble, which he's prone to foul trouble, he's also going up against Jonas Valanciunas, who's good at drawing fouls, then you can kind of leverage the field there if you go to Biyombo. DeJounte's on track to play? Really? Because they said they listed him as out. Did we just get that news? That's really significant news if that is the case. Like, that's going to change a lot for me because the Spurs were a team I was pretty heavy on. Wow. Pop. DeJounte Murray on track to play. Oh, here we go, right? We got popped even before the game. We got news that he was going to be out today, and we got popped before the game started. So that's a pretty big downgrade now to the rest of the Spurs. Like, everyone is a pretty big downgrade now. Yeah, well, now we don't have to worry about getting popped as much, right? If DeJounte Murray plays, that Spurs value, I mean, there's still a couple guys that are in play, but definitely doesn't look as good. If you have the salary between those three, it would be Holiday. Don't have starters yet. NAW value, solid GPP play. I think he gets mid-20s minutes off the bench. Whenever NAW is on the court, he's going to be high use. Like, he's going to get shot attempts up. Yeah, LeBron's playing. Smart to pivot to Westbrook from LeBron for tournaments. I mean, it's going to fail way more often than it comes through for you. Every once in a while, you'll get the big Westbrook game, and it'll work out. But if you do go Westbrook over LeBron, first of all, you got to realize that a lot of the field's going to have LeBron. So if LeBron goes off, you're dead. And probably like 8-9 times out of 10, you're losing if you go Westbrook over LeBron. But the 1 or 2 times you do, you can have a chance at a big win. So again, that's going to fail more often than it comes through for you if you play Westbrook over LeBron. Oh, is it I thought it said on track to play today. On track to play Wednesday. Good call. Good call. Man, you guys are ruthless. Yeah, I thought it said today. I thought it said today, all right? Love Mobley and Allen in order. For their salaries, Love, then Mobley, then Allen. 6K forward or guard? Let's see. 6K forward or guard. So I'll say Jalen Smith right now, but if there's no Randall, then RJ Barrett looks pretty good there. And like Obi Toppin looks pretty good too. So like I'll say Smith right now, but if Randall gets ruled out, I think Barrett and Toppin become much, much more appealing. So we need that Randall news. Halliburton or White? I think White looks a little bit safer. Again, so like depends how you're playing it. White looks a little more optimal to me. Halliburton should come into less ownership. 6.5K for forward or guard. Okay, so let's see. 6.5. Probably would be the same. Oh, so forward or guard? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Triple J. I mean, Burks, I think I'd rather go. I guess you can go there if Randall's out, but that's not a range I love. It probably would be the same answer as 6K below. Culver, I think Culver will be a little bit over-owned. I think he's playable, but I think there's a lot of better value in the high 3Ks to low 4K range. So who's getting in foul trouble tonight? Hopefully not someone in my lineup. I have not. Okay, so the last week or so has gone really well for myself. I haven't dealt with any foul trouble, right? You already know, random foul trouble is going to come back, or maybe an ejection or something. Maybe someone quits in mid-game. That's bound to happen. Love will not start now. No, I do not want to play Allen and Mobley together. What about no salary? So just straight up, Allen, then Love, then Mobley. Will JV score 50 plus fantasy points? I mean, I think Jonas Valanciunas is a solid tournament play. Like, I'm not scared of Smith on defensive end. I'm not scared of Biyombo. So, like, I think JV's a solid way to get different. Will he score 50? Not sure, but I think he's a good tournament option that will come in at pretty low ownership. Austin Ingram doesn't really stand out to me. Josh Hart, I think Josh Hart's a little bit easier to get to than Ingram. Both more contrarian plays, though. Hield or Smith? I feel better about Smith. Smith or Pirtle? Pirtle. Trey Jones quickly, Cam Johnson, Vassell, Sabonis, Skykes. Okay. What I'll say is monitor Randall news. Like quickly, I think is a solid GPP play. I don't think a lot of people get to him. He's been struggling a bit of late, but he's also got 40 plus fantasy point upside. So I think quickly is a solid way to get different. Knock on wood, no fouls. Hope so. JV will find a way to get in foul trouble and disappoint me. LOL. JV was on pace to smash last game. I don't think anyone played him last game, but he picked up 2 quick fouls in like 3 minutes against Utah. He still ended up going for like 40. He could have gone for 50 plus there against the Jazz with no foul trouble. Guys, yeah, we're at almost 50 likes, 150 concurrent viewers. Appreciate you guys. I'll be live for 10 more minutes answering questions. So again, Q&A style. Happy to answering questions. You guys put them in the chat. Can you play Fox and Halliburton in the same lineup? The answer is yes, but if I'm doing that, then I'm stacking the game. If I'm playing Fox and Halliburton together, I'm running it back like LeBron or Westbrook and just hoping that game shoots out and other games either blow out or are underwhelming. That's what I would do. Bane or Mobley, flip a coin. I think both are secondary plays for me. Kevin Love, under 8.5 rebounds coming from the bench. I mean, what's he got the last few games? I mean, I think he plays 25 to 30 minutes. He's a good rebounder. Yeah, I mean, doesn't really stand out to me, in my opinion. Ja, Booker, Hart, Melo, Allen, Mitchell, Bagley, and Landell. Way too contrarian for me. Painter quickly? That's a good question. I think both are pretty similar, right? Both have some risk. I don't think Payne gets like any ownership. I will say the upside probably is a little bit higher in quickly than it is Payne. Like quickly could break the slate, right? He has 40 fancy point upside. That's possible. Whereas Campaign, like I don't really think he breaks the slate unless like one of the guards gets in massive foul trouble or gets injured. So I think both are solid contrarian plays, but I think the upside is higher in quickly if things go right. Pirtle revenge game. I think Pirtle's a good play in the mid-range. I don't think he gets much ownership. Toppin or Barrett. So if Randall's out, Toppin. If Randall's in, RJ Barrett. Because Toppin would most likely move back to the bench and play like 15-ish minutes. And he would be out of play if Randall's in. Washington, Halliburton, Vassell, Sabonis, Smith, Jones, LeBron, Sykes. I like it. Yeah. Damian Jones, another value play that I think plays mid-20s minutes. OG, Hart, or RJ. I'm not really looking to OG. RJ if Randall's in, or RJ if Randall's out, if Randall's in, Hart. Sykes, White, LBJ, Sabonis, Biyombo, Fox, Clover, Justin Holiday, too risky. I think it's fine. Trey Jones quickly, Cam Johnson, Vassell, Sabonis, Sykes, LeBron, and CP3. Okay. I have Mobley, Josh Hart, Miles Turner in your order. Turner, then Hart, then Mobley. The only issue with Turner is he's center eligible, center only, and opportunity cost there, right? Thoughts on Tyus and Clark? Yes, I think Tyus is a solid tournament play too. Minutes weren't as high in him last game, played 19, but he'll be productive when he's on the court. They have shown they are willing to play him and John Morant together, which is a positive. And then Brandon Clark, I think we get around 20 minutes from him. You had some Triple J foul trouble last game. But I think, low 20s minutes is a fair guess for Brandon Clark. And the Cavs also run a big lineup. So I think both look good. Feel a little bit better about Clark. Sabonis, I like Sabonis a lot. Neither guard, Brogdon and LeVert are out. He's going to do more of the ball handling. He has triple-double upside, in my opinion. Zaire, we're still waiting on the status, I think. Unless he was questionable last time I looked. Zaire Williams, that is. Okay, Randall, game time decision. We have Robinson in. Okay, so yeah, we still don't have Zaire Williams news. Do you like pairing Van Fleet with Siakam? I mean, I wouldn't do it unless I'm game stacking it. Like, both are contrarian plays, so like, if you're playing them both together, same thing I said about the guy that asked about Fox and Halliburton together. You can, but like, I'm stacking the game then. So you're playing Van Fleet and Siakam, I'm running it back with Derek White. So no, what's up, man? Harder, Jalen Smith point per dollar. Do you like Garland? Too pricey for me. Mobley or Love for me. I think the upside is a little bit higher in Love. I think mid to high 20s minutes is a pretty fair guess for Love. CP3, safe play, a little bit underpriced. Should have a lot of ownership. All right, guys. We got about 5 minutes left. So happy to answer any other questions. Again, if you guys do enjoy the streams, again, just make sure to hit the like button. Does go a long way. And subscribe as well. Getting close to 11K on YouTube, so that's kind of exciting. Jones or Biyombo? Jones. I mean, you're going to feel much better about Jones. Biyombo's just a contrarian play, right? I think he's a decent pivot off of, I think, somewhat chalky Jalen Smith. Sabonis over 6 assists. Yeah, I think I would lean the over in the assists. I think he does more of the ball handling. Rough game for Michigan. Not good, man. Not good. It was painful to watch. Is that your plays? Well, what's his price point? He's pretty cheap, but like I don't know how many. Like he's been out for a little bit, hasn't he? It's an ankle injury. He hasn't played since 12/6. So like, I think if he plays, he's going to be limited. I mean, he's gotten some pretty decent minutes so far, and it's not done much with them. So even if he plays, I don't think I go there. He was also pretty disappointing in the summer league as well. So yeah, not much interest in him even if he plays. I think CP3 looks more optimal. I think you can go to Fox if you want to make your lineup more contrarian. Yeah, I think Biombo's a sneaky play. I think he plays 15 to 20 minutes off the bench. More if Jalen Smith gets in foul trouble, which is possible. Diop and Sykes or Vassell and Culver. First one for me. Jones, Washington, or Sykes. I think Jones is the safest of the bunch. I think Dwayne Washington's a good play. I think he plays mid-30s minutes. He's been shooting the ball a decent amount, too. Last couple games he's been out there. He also got in foul trouble last game, so he probably would have played a couple extra minutes. But yeah, 14 and then 17 shot attempts last game. So he's a guy that's not afraid to shoot the ball. Marcus Morris cost you a takedown. Yeah, the blowout hurt there. I had Naz Reid, too. Never came back in, so the blowout definitely hurt in that one. Does point guards affect centers like QBs, wide receivers, in fantasy football? Not necessarily, but like point guards and centers are usually, usually where you want to look to for the utility spot. Just because you want to get as many point guards and centers in your lineup as you can. Usually, just because centers have a high floor and point guards do as well because they're going to handle the ball a ton. So, Washington, Sykes, Sabonis, Turner, Aaron Holiday. I don't know if I'm still playing the whole starting five. Probably wouldn't do that. Jones, Trent, Vassell, Clark, Sabonis, Sykes, LeBron, and Paul. Yeah, Gary Trent. He fouled out in like 20 minutes last game. I mean, he does have upside, but he has to hit his shots to get value. Everything else looks pretty good to me. Best low-owned play at 7.5. Low-owned play at 7.5. I think one of the Kings guards, either Halliburton or Fox. Trent or Melo, same price on FanDuel. I don't love either, but I'll say I think the upside's a little bit higher on Trent if he can knock down his shots and stay out of foul trouble. Sykes and Washington in the same lineup, I think it's okay. I mean, they're both cheap, and they both played 30-plus minutes last game, so neither are going to be super productive on the court, but at their price points, they don't need to do a ton to pay off their salary, so I'm fine playing them both. Do you like Brent Forbes tonight? You popped off last game. Yeah, I mean, he's firmly in play. The only issue with Brent Forbes, he's scoring dependent, so there is still a floor with him, but I think he's definitely viable. He's probably going to come off the bench. Campaign tonight, yeah, viable contrarian option. I don't know if he has insane upside unless one of the guards gets in foul trouble, so... All right, let's check one more time, see if there's any other news. If not, I will let you guys go there. But yeah, we got about an hour to lock, so hopefully we have some big wins tonight, guys. Hopefully there's no foul trouble or ejections or any of that nonsense. Quitting mid-game. Yeah, I like Brandon Clark. And then best forward under 4K, probably Clark. Let's see. Well, man, it's pretty close. You have Bates, Diop. I need to see the starting lineup here for San Antonio. Bates, Diop starts, then I think he would look a little bit safer than Brandon Clark, but you got those two. Yeah, I think it would be a coin flip with those two. Thoughts on Vassell? Like him if he starts. I know we all go to roster King James. What about John Westbrook underowned? Yeah, again, so like if you're building a chalky lineup, you can go to Westbrook over LeBron. More often than not, it's going to fail, just from what we've seen this year, but you can have a ceiling Westbrook game every once in a while. So, again, depends on what the rest of your lineup looks like, really. But that'll do it for me, guys. So, really appreciate you guys coming to check out the live stream. Good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys back here